The King and the Happy Man. Once there was a very famous king in a foreign country. He was a nervous person, and more than that, a selfish and cruel king. He had never had time enough to look after the affairs of the people in the country. But he every time engrossed in his own affairs. The people had no any right to question the king, for it was considered to be treachery or treason. The king ate and drank with all the pomposity of richness and slept very comfortably at nights. One day, the king felt that he was sick, and he called his attendants to be present before him. He wanted them to bring physicians who could cure him from his illness. Ordering the servants, the king entered his royal chamber and lay in a bed thinking that he was a sick person. He thoroughly believed that he was very weak and ill-stricken. Many a physician came to treat him, but all of them found the king to be very healthy, and they opened their mouth to tell out the truth, but it was not digestible to the king. He roared in vehemently fury to hang all those physicians who said that he was all right. At last, the physicians feared of testing or treating the king, for they feared that they would be killed if they could not find some disease in the king. But the days were very worst to the physicians. They were sought and caught by the king's men, and was forcefully taken to the palace to treat the king. The end was very sad for them all. By the by, two famous physicians from the neighboring kingdom visited the sick king's palace with a view to curing him. One of them was a scholar in medicinal study, and the other was only a quack in treatment. But in society, he had enjoyed all the reputation and status of being a very perfect physician. The scholar entered the royal chamber where the king was taking rest, and neared his bed. He touched the august chest of the king and sensed his pulse rate. Everything seemed to be normal to him. Without beating about the bush, he plainly said that the king's health was very sound as a nut. The king's fury flew into a flame, and he roared to his men, "Hang him up." The king's men obeyed the order. Sensing the danger, the quack was cautioned a little, and he tested the king. He said, "The king is very serious, beyond words. At any time, anything bad may happen to him." The king's attendants asked, "Sir, is there any remedy for all these troubles?" The quack said, "If the king happens to sleep one night wearing the shirt of a happy man, he will be cured. There is no any other alternative." The king's men wandered along the streets, and they travelled through forest and jungles to see a happy man. But wherever they went, they saw people with many different kinds of problems. But they could see no happy man anywhere. All these natural phenomena were used to be informed to the king continuously. At last, he came to know that his problems were trifles when compared to the miseries which were being suffered by the people. He opened the windows of his chamber and fresh air pushed into his room. He inhaled the fresh air and was relaxed greatly. Little by little, he regained his health, and since then he became a good ruler.